This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new values, and a new experience.
Welcome to the Spirit Sessions podcast. I'm your guide, Katie Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us, where I'll help you find your true spiritual home, where every single aspect of you is holy ground. Holy ground.
This is a journey into sound.
This is a Spirit Session podcast with Katie Silcox. Venga chicos, empezamos.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Katie coming to you with this next of Tantra talks, and it's just really been on my mind lately. I need to do another Tantra talk. I mean, really every single podcast that we do is a Tantra talk, but what makes something tantric? Is it that you get to have 6-hour sex with, super awakened men like Sting? Sure, you can do that. I don't know if you can do that with Sting, but sex is a part of it, of course, but really it's so much more. And I really feel like it's important to understand what Tantra means and to continue to explore this investigation. I want to think about the meaning of Tantra within the context of meditation. Now, Tantra is a methodology for expanding our sense of who we are. It's a method for expanding what we believe is possible for our lives. It's a method of expanding our understanding of where our diseases come from, our emotions, our weird personality quirks and tendencies. Have you ever noticed that you do weird shit that you know you shouldn't do, but you keep doing it despite knowing you shouldn't do it, or you would be better off if you didn't do it? That's such a curious human feature. So this has been something that is that has been really at the forefront of the attention of many a great man and woman throughout human history. I'm thinking of Plato, of Socrates. I'm thinking of Carl Jung. I'm thinking of Freud. I'm thinking of all of these ancient Eastern mystics. I'm thinking of the Gnostic Christians. I'm thinking of the Sufis. I'm on and on and on, right? We can all sort of humbly bow our heads in agreement that people are so much more complex and vast and yet predictable than we know, right? And so Tantra is a method, any method that works to bring about more and greater understanding about the nature of who you are and what your brain is like and how your physiology works and the complex interrelationship between psyche, emotion, and physiology. And that's particularly of interest to us here at Ayurveda School, right? Because we all intuitively know, all of us. I mean, there's a rare being on the planet these days that doesn't kind of admit and say and know, look, the mind affects your health. Your emotions affect your health. Like, I know a lot of Western medical doctors and nurses, and man, you get them outside of that system and sit them down with a cup of tea or a glass of wine, and they're like, yeah, the mind plays such a big role. So today I want to go into something that I think might be very helpful for you all. And I'm sitting outside in the cold Virginia morning, and the sun's out, and it's December, and you may hear the sound of the FedEx truck and the leaf blower, and I think that might just add to the charm. I decided to get out of the studio and get out in nature today because I want to talk to you about meditation. And I know that's such a big buzzword right now. Everybody from, major corporations to churches to schools, everyone's talking about meditation, and that's so great. There are obviously so many clear health benefits. But what I think is important and what Tantra can really bring to the story is that there are as many ways of meditating as there are beings on the planet. There really are infinite amounts of meditation. And so I want to differentiate, though, to make it really simple, between passive meditation, which is what people are often taught, or at least they were, 5, 10, 20 years ago, and active meditation. Now, Tantra embraces everything, right? And so you may choose to do passive meditation, which is the form of meditation where you sit down. Maybe you watch your breath for a moment, but only in the service of being able to quiet your thoughts and to kind of go into a passive state, right? You become the witness consciousness. That's what we call it in this tradition, Purusha, that which can witness. And so you kind of go into this silent, surrendered state. It is very, very beautiful and very wonderful, and also very freaking hard to reach. Passive silent meditation is quite an advanced mental state. It really is. And so the ancient tantrics understood this. It's particularly hard if you are a mom or a dad, or you live in the world and you work in a company, or you have a to-do list. And as my friend Faith says, my to-do lists sometimes have to-do lists. Sitting down and just telling your mind to get quiet and go passive is virtually impossible for a lot of people, right? And so I want to bring that up because I feel like it hinders people from meditating. So there's another form, and it's called an active form of meditation. It's the central premise of most forms of tantric meditation, and that means that you bring into the field that which is super helpful for the mind to get it into a state to be able to actually be quiet at some point or not, right? And so let's think about the end goal of meditation not as pure silence, although that's a great gift that can come during a meditative practice, but that the gift of meditation and the way that you can know if your meditation is bearing fruit is if you start to feel more real. I must say that again. You start to feel more real. You start to feel more you. You start to feel more self-confidence and self-love and self-gratitude. That's how you know if your meditation's working. I've met many a meditator that were total assholes, right? You're just sitting in silence all day, like not interacting with reality. No, I'm not saying that's everybody that does that method, but I hope you sense my joking, but it's true. And you guys know it. Y'all know it. The end result of a good meditation session isn't how quiet you got your mind. Although that's a great gift and a boon, and it can sometimes be the deepest medicine. I'm a big fan of silence. But what I've found is that when I reach truly the state of silence, it is only because I have passed through the doorway of having my heart softened by love. When you know love, you are willing to be brave enough to be quiet. When you know love, you're willing to be held in the arms of that infinite silence. And my experience of infinite silence is that it is not emptiness, it's pregnant with love. And so these two things, silence and love, go hand in hand. And there's active forms of meditation, there's passive forms of meditation, and I would add that there's one other realm that can come through, and that is called Sahaja yoga. Yoga means union, Sahaja means spontaneous. And again, it's been my experience, and again, I've dedicated my whole life to this inquiry. Sahaja is so incredible. It's the spontaneous experiences that come through having a practice of meditation. The practice of meditation prepares you for the Sahaja. In other words, you sit down, you meditate, and that prepares you to be able to receive that infinite intuitive wisdom that is yours and yours alone. It can never be taught to you by anyone else. It comes through you, and when you get it, you know. And there's no one and nothing that can take it from you. Some of you know what I'm talking about. This is what in the Christian tradition we might call, the Holy Spirit or God. Yeah. And it's a direct line of communication. It's a direct softening of the heart. It's a direct communication with wisdom. All right, that's the end goal. I want a direct line to the divine. And I want to know who I am and know my heart, know my truth, and know my realness. And when you've got that, self-esteem is just more and more your reality. So what I want to offer up today, and what I'm actually going to go into even more deeply when we're doing a free webinar, by the way, so mark your calendar, although I'm sitting out here in the sunshine, I don't remember. It's like one of the first days of January. We'll put the exact dates in the show notes here. Mark your calendar. Come. It's a totally free thing. And if you are in Shakti School Level 1, Level 2, and you know someone that you want to introduce our school to, please bring them. If you have never been a part of our school and you want to get a little taste of it, come on in. It's like, I don't remember, it's one of the first days of January. And in that workshop, I'm going to address one of the questions that we get the most, and that is, how do I know what to do to start a spiritual practice? How do I know what to do? There's just so many techniques. There's so many teachers. There's so many offerings and types of meditation. Like, I can get a little overwhelmed when I sit down to actually do it in the morning or at night or whenever you're doing it, right? And so I want to offer up a 7-step practice that really incorporates every single thing I do when I meditate. And this is a very active form. It's a very tantric form. It is a very feminine form. We are working with what we have. And when we give the mind, it's like if you have a really, how do I say this? If you have a child that has a very active mind, those of you that are moms out there know, or dads out there, like, you need to give him something or her something to do, to occupy him. So that's essentially what we have, right? We have this part of our mind that's like an overactive child that is really a sweetheart. It thinks it's helping us by being constantly active. And so rather than being like, you know what, you're a bad boy, go to the corner and put on your dunce cap and stare into the corner until you act nice, right? Like, everybody knows that that's not the greatest way of parenting. Similar with your own mind. If you just tell the mind to sit down and shut up, it is going to buck like a bronco. So what we do is we give the child a really cool task, like an amazing puzzle or like a super cool video game, or, we engage the mind. We give the mind a job. Let the mind do what mind gonna do. What is mind gonna do? Mind loves color. It loves emotion. It loves visualization. It loves future projection and past experience. So why don't we channel that mind that's so powerful by letting it do what it loves, but giving it some parameters that are really helpful? So we go towards the healing vortex. We reduce the inflammation in our neural pathways. We open up the chamber of the rib cage and the heart. We release the belly, right? And we let the mind have a great job, and the mind becomes an ally rather than an enemy. So I'm going to go through this process more in depth and actually do it with you guys in the webinar coming up in January. But I'm going to give you I'm going to kind of overview it now in the podcast, and you can start practicing it now. Okay. 7 steps to a great meditation practice that is going to launch you into a deeper and deeper connection to your spiritual life. Number 1, whether you're laying down or seated meditation, I'm sitting outside in the sunshine, ground your body. What does that mean? It means take a moment to let your attention and your breath even just kind of move from your head, which is where many of us have our mind, into your legs and the soles of your feet. You can also imagine a waterfall dropping down from the crown of your head, down the back of your body, through your spine, but always moving it down, down, down. I call this the classic in and down, attention in and down your body. Now, if I really go outside and put my feet on the grass, and I just like the brain needs about 60 to 90 seconds to start to map the feet and to feel the bones of the feet, my whole mind starts to change. So number 1, ground your body. Number 2, call in a matrix of support. So my mentor, Crystal Mortensen, calls this the matrix of support. A lot of other people call it lots of different things. What is the matrix of support? It's your connection to the divine, to God. But if you're like, nah, dog, I don't want to do that God thing, Katie Silcox, that's totally fine. That's why we call it the matrix of support. For me, my backyard is a huge matrix of support. Nature is a matrix of support. You may think of your teachers, your mentors, your therapist, your coach, your loving friends or family members, like anyone that you can call that you feel has your highest and best interest at heart. And what I encourage you to do is not to choose people that also kind of, you may have some weird karma with that you're working out, right? Like pick people that feel really pure and clean, that are just 100% here to like support you and your evolution. Yeah, the ocean is just such a mother for me, and the ground, right, of the earth. You may have gods and goddesses. Ancestors can be a part of the matrix of support. Okay, so number 1, ground your body. Number 2, call in the matrix of support. Number 3, shift your physiology to orient towards love, falling in love. I remember I keep telling everybody this, Dr. Claudia Welch telling me her guru told her, don't meditate unless you can fall in love. It's just defeating the point of the practice. Like, go take a walk, go feel your feelings, go, do some, this is absolutely not Claudia's suggestion, but I suggest you go and, lean your back up against a tree, maybe cry into the ground or punch the air a few times, right? Like get that energy moving and fall in love. And one of the things the mind loves to do is to remember, and we call this Smarana yoga, this going back into the memory bank to find a moment where you felt love, where you saw love, where you experienced love. And what I really promise you, I did it this morning. I started thinking back upon the last 24 hours and, life is stressful and, it can be tempting to move into what's wrong attention. But I was like walking my mind back through the 24 hours and I found there were just so many moments of love. My friend Liz kissing her boyfriend when she saw him, saying hello, honey. And they see each other all the time. It's just that little, you guys that are in partnership know, like, when you just see your man again and he's had a long day and just give him a little kiss. Her dog, Aggie, jumped up on me in the car and I just felt all this love from this white pit bull that's deaf. And I walked my mind back through that 24 hours and there were just all these moments of love that didn't even register, right? Because we're so caught up in the other stuff. So using moments of the past 24 hours where there was some love and maybe you didn't even let it settle into the system. So number 1, ground your body. Number 2, call in the matrix of support. Number 3, fall in love. Number 4, ask yourself, is there anything or anyone I need to forgive, release, surrender, or take off the hook? It's really hard to work with energy to the fullest extent of our body's capacity when we're holding resentments. Now, y'all know me by now, unless you're a new listener. Hi, new listener. Nobody here is going to sleep at the wheel of spiritual bypassing, right? Sometimes you're not ready to forgive and you're in the active phase of a healing process. Cool. But a lot of the times it's time, it's time. And so you can't move into deep energy work until you've really forgiven deeply. Number 5, energy, right? Energy work. And so we'll go into this more in the webinar. And of course, this is a big part of what I share in Ayurveda School Level 1 and Level 2 and how we work with energy. But basically, again, just letting your attention move down your body. That's a good place to start. What else? Once you've felt that energetic connection, number 6, future dreams, right? Like, as you start to leave the meditation practice, hopefully it's in the morning. If not, you can do it at night for the next day. But like seeing how you want your day to go, seeing what you want your state to be like. And then the last part of that sit practice is to just offer up gratitude. That might be an out loud statement of everyone you're grateful for. And you may write it down at the end of your meditation in the journal. You may write a letter to somebody or an email just thanking them for their presence in your life, but really letting that spirit of thank you be on our tongue and in our heart. So number 1, grounding. Number 2, calling in the matrix of support. Number 3, falling in love. Number 4, forgiveness. Number 5, working with energy. Number 6, launching into your future dreams of how you want your day and maybe your week and even the next few years to go. And number 7, offering up thank you. So much gratitude. All right, beauties, that's my hot tips on how to have a really beautiful experience of yourself. I hope to see your shining face in Ayurveda School Level 1. Y'all know we're going to keep telling you about it. It's coming up. We only have one day where it starts, and so we're going to be really focused on it until then. We're calling in and praying in the women that are meant to be in this training. May they be able to come really effortlessly if it's the right fit. You can always set up a coaching call with one of my staff. They're amazing women. They've done the program, all of them. And we have a new 24-month payment plan. You can pay over 12 months, 18 months, or yes, now we've heard your call, 24 months, y'all. That's a ton of work admin-wise for our team, but we are happy to do it if it helps you get inside school. We are seeing so many fun success stories from women who have graduated from our program. You can check out our website for more information, theshaktischool.com. Sending you guys lots of love on this winter day.
Hey there, beautiful. So I just want to ask you a really important question. What are you going to do with this one sacred and precious life? Because here's what I know. I know that the listeners of our podcast are spirit seekers. And if you're anything like me, you may sometimes feel more than a little bit bummed out and astounded even by the state of the world today. It can be super disheartening to read the mainstream news and be told that there is no cause for hope and no future to delight in. And you know what? I call bullshit on that. You see, we really do live in polarized times. And so much of what we talk about here in this podcast and in Shakti School is what the brain does when it's polarized. It's the opposite of healing. It actually causes inflammation to live in that fight, flight, freeze, polarized state of us versus them. But I personally really do understand the feeling of being stuck and being anxious about the state of the world and even the state of our lives. You may feel like your life is not turning out the way you envisioned. And some of you who are listening to me today may feel like, oh, you know what? My life looks like everything is going great on the outside, but on the inside, it's a totally different story. In my experience of working with literally thousands of women all over the world, I have found that every single one of you out there wants the same thing. You want to feel more fulfilled, more joyful, more alive, more creative, more self-empowered, and more connected. And perhaps most importantly, what I've seen is that women want to feel like they belong to themselves. They want to feel like they belong to themselves and they can connect with a community and make authentic connections. But what I also see is there's a deep missing link that is keeping us from this longing. We know we want personal and collective empowerment, but we're not sure how we can get there. And I'm not talking about Pollyanna, only love and light type self-helpy spirituality stuff. I am not talking about just taking a yoga class or, saying some positive affirmations and lighting some incense and maybe doing a moontime ritual and thinking that everything's going to turn out okay. I'm talking about something a lot deeper and a lot richer. I'm talking about the best of ancient mysticism meeting modern neuroscience. I'm talking about the best of folk medicine meeting and, yes, appreciating modern Western allopathic and functional medicine. I'm talking about smart people who have massive hearts. That is what we are doing over here at Shakti School. It is the opposite of polarizing. It is unifying. And after all, from everything I've studied, that still is the meaning of the word yoga. I believe that every single human being on this planet is longing for the same thing. We all want to feel real. We want a direct line to something beautiful and infinite. We can call it God. We can call it the universe. I mean, hell, you guys can call it the great universal cosmic crystal yoni palace. You can call it what you want. And it's what we're all wanting. And you may be thinking, yeah, but not everybody wants that, Katie. What are you talking about? And I'm saying to you, yes, they do. Every time we overeat, every time we binge on alcohol, every time we do drugs, every time we watch porn, whatever, overshop, freaking get in a fight with someone on Instagram. Every time we do that, it is just a covering over a deeper longing to know that infinite love. The bottom line is that we all want the incredible confidence and empowerment that comes from knowing exactly who we are and what our personal soul DNA is and what we were made to do on this planet. And we need the tools and practices and support to be able to manifest that purpose in the world. Guys, without tools, and without that personal divine connection, I don't care how much money you have, how powerful you are in the world, how many supplements you've taken, how many G-spot multiple orgasms you've achieved, how many sauna ice baths you've dunked yourself into. Without spirit, life is going to be really difficult and a hell of a lot less fun. In my opinion, the people that are going to not only survive but deeply thrive on the planet in the next few years are the people who are not building themselves up on sinking sands, the sinking sands of our modern culture, but who are solidifying themselves into an enduring force of love and power. When you have that kind of connection to your own soul's mission and a spiritual force on your side, there's literally, I don't think there's anything you can't accomplish. When you have a connection to your realest self, your truest purpose, and that spirit that lives inside of all of us, guess what? You become a lightning rod for attracting the right people and circumstances into your life to fulfill that mission. And you become a lightning rod for being able to transmit and channel a higher purpose into the world. You become a lightning rod for creativity. Guys, that means you can supercharge your business. You can finally write that book you've been holding back on. You can better your health. You can invent a world-changing technology. You can create beautiful art, become a better lover, and become a better parent to your kids. Your confidence to speak your highest truth and stand in your conviction as your best, most loving, courageous version of yourself is really what it's about. I want a powerful tribe of lionesses prowling this planet. And it doesn't matter if you work at the drive-thru at McDonald's, which, by the way, we have women through our scholarship program that have done that, or if you are the CEO of some company and work in a high-rise in New York City. We have those women in our course as well. But both of those women need a system. We need a method. We all need a science-backed way of altering our brain and healing our hearts. We need a course of instruction that's going to take us from point A to point B, where we go from feeling afraid and powerless to feeling courageous and supported and seen and wanted. And that's exactly why I created this school, Shakti School, and why I created Ayurveda School Level 1. This course offers you a structured system backed by thousands of years of research and a team of over 15 expert teachers and staff who are going to make you laugh and cry and will stimulate your mind and your energy body more than any other course on this planet, and I stand behind that. You will learn my own translation of feminine form, mystical Ayurvedic medicine that will tap into something your intuition already knows, and that is that you, dear listener, know how to heal yourself. And it all starts with love and compassion. In this course, yes, we go into the basics of the Ayurveda worldview, but it doesn't stop there. You will learn conscious self-sovereign sexuality, herbology, moon rituals, astrology, mantra, yoga for your doshas, goddess manifestation and empowerment, somatic trauma release, nervous system healing, Ayurveda for women's issues, fertility, postpartum, and menopause, as well as my signature approach to holistic medicine that understands that we are not just our imbalances and our diseases. We are spiritual beings here on earth to learn who the heck we are. And that's just a short list of what we are going to be doing over here in 2022 Level 1. In this course, you are going to get all the practical tools you need to up-level your life and supercharge your dreams. I guarantee that you will go from being a spiritual wolf howling alone, perhaps in the darkness, to a member of a community who can hold one another in conscious support. You will learn what exactly is blocking your light and your success, and you will release your patterns of self-sabotage. You will get the tools that you need to navigate this upcoming year so that even the challenges that we are all going to face, they are going to become the seeds of our new potential. You will go from living a life of pain that pushes you to a future vision that pulls you. Ayurveda School Level 1 is unlike any other online course, and it's not because there aren't other amazing Ayurveda schools out there, because there are. But we are different because this is feminine form Ayurveda. It is a mystical healing path that not only bows and honors the ancient rules and technologies of India Ayurveda, but also offers a universal medicine-centered approach that defies time, geography, and ethnic background. It's a system that allows women to unfold their healing from within their own intuitive heart. Here at their school, there are no gurus. There's just a safe, healing, fun, inspiring, intellectually rich, emotionally intelligent place for you to awaken the guru within. And this isn't just my lofty opinion about my own baby. We literally receive daily testimonials from our students that make me and my staff, at least me, weep with joy. Like this one, I just got this one from a current Level 1. It says, Katie, thank you for changing my entire life with your school. I've cried so many happy and healing tears, so much compassion and endless laughs with you throughout the year. And on top of that, all that wisdom. I must say, when I signed up for Shakti School, it was very intuitive as I made a last minute decision with no experience of Ayurveda before. But I knew in my heart it would be magic. And I actually had no idea how much depth and realness these teachings would give me. And I'm realizing this is mainly because you've been our teacher and guide delivering this medicine in a very unique way. I hope to meet you in person and give you a hug and thank you, as you are such an important person in my own healing and soul's mission. Lots of love from a very grateful student. And I hope I meet you too in person and you know who you are. And that's just one of hundreds of students that have sent us their praise. But here's the thing, guys, and this is important. We only run this course once a year. It's a year-long program because we are committed to doing it live. We've done it now for 4 years, and we could easily make it a recorded course that would run all the time, be a lot less money, a lot less effort, but I feel like that would take away from the incredible energy that comes from all of us being together in a container throughout the year. And whether you're with us during the live class or you're watching it later as you're making dinner for your kids or taking a walk through the woods, there is a real container that we create in 2022. All right, guys, so it starts this January 12th, and we would absolutely love to have you. And yes, this is absolutely a course for people who want to add a money-making potential to their lives as a certified Ayurveda health coach. But it's also for any woman who just wants to take this for herself. We've had many students go on to become Ayurveda wellness coaches. They are incredible. They are inspiring me. They have, helped hundreds and thousands of people, but they've started podcasts. I've been lucky enough to write the foreword to several of my students' books. I love watching my students succeed and hopefully one day even go above and beyond what we're creating here. So it's here for you guys. We are here for you. And I hope we will see your shining face. I hope I get to meet you in school in 2022. And lastly, I have 4 amazing women supporting these efforts. We've got Sarah, Malia, Takesha, and Lindsay, and they have all taken this full course. So if you want to set up a coaching call with them to talk about the course and see if it's a good fit for you, the link to connect with them is in the show notes. You can also head over to theshaktischool.com, hit the Ayurveda link for all the information and an overview, a complete overview of the syllabus for 2022. You can also write my staff anytime. We're at info@theshaktischool.com. All right, beauty, thank you so much for listening, and may 2022 be a remarkable year for all of us.
फूटे फूल